there's someone watching this who, by the end of this video, will have their $5,000 in 7-day plan all figured out. Is that going to be you? Let me know in the comments right now if that is you. If you're ready, if you're locked in, say locked in if you're ready with me, and hit the subscribe button right now if you are not already subscribed. Okay? Before I tell you the exact playbook that I would tell you in a paid challenge or some sort of paid course or even a consultation with me that costs thousands of dollars, this is exactly what I would tell you. Before I do that, I need you to do something for me. Leave a comment and tell me what city or state you're in, your age or the age range, if whatever you're comfortable with, and where you are in your business or your offer. You can say, I don't know what to offer yet, or I have an offer, but I can't really figure out how to sell it, or I've been selling my offer, it's going well, but I want to grow. So let me know where you stand because I'm going to take all of what you say in the comments into consideration for my very next video. Make sure you're subscribed so you get the information from that video. Okay, I'm going to tell you something that you probably haven't heard before on YouTube or from anyone, really. I'm going to tell you a couple of things that I haven't even really said out loud to a large group of people. I usually reserve it for maybe my inner circle members who pay me 6,000 plus per year or other groups. But I'm going to tell you today because I not only want you to win, I need you to win. So if you're locked in, if you're still here, if you didn't click off, this is for you. I need you to lock in. No excuses, no limiting beliefs before I even say what it is. Don't get yourself out of the game before I even start. And let's get right to it. Okay. So you are going to make one offer. One clear offer. You've probably heard that before, but I'm going to tell you a twist to this, okay? You're going to make one clear offer. It's not even going to have a lot of tiers to it. It's not going to have a lot of complexity. It's going to help one type of person with one urgent pain point, something they want to get out of pain for immediately. It can't be calm and normal and, oh, that's a nice to have. We call that a vitamin. You need a painkiller, okay? And it should be a service you can deliver yourself this week. So I have notes for you, and I'm just going to go through the notes. We're not even going to pretend that I don't have notes, okay? Because this is too important for you to miss. You're going to, most people skip this, okay? It should be a service you can deliver yourself this week, a service or done for you. Something that you work with somebody for an hour or a day and they're out of the pain, or they have a really great solution to get them out of the pain. Or you work on it for an hour or a day and you have solved their problem. Something like a done for you website. Now with products like Lovable, which I absolutely love, products like Lovable make it possible for you to type in a sentence or a description and in 5 minutes have 80% of a website or a landing page or some sort of product completed. And all you have to do is edit and tweak and add to it over time. Now, there are a few other things you can do with it, but that's really where we are right now with AI. I use Lovable every single day, and you can use it. Like, think about this. If you've not heard of Lovable, think about how many other people haven't heard of it and aren't using this tool. If you have heard of Lovable, you know how great it is. And imagine what you could do for the people who are not going to sit down and learn it. It takes you about 30 minutes to learn all the little pieces to it. And then it takes you maybe a few days of using it to become a power user. So it's just one example of a done for you service that you can charge $300, $500, or even $1,000 for. We're not talking about $20, $40, $50 here. We're talking about 10 people that you're charging $500, or 5 people where you're charging 1,000, or 2 where you're charging 2,500. Okay? Then you could do something with it, which is like a done with you sprint. So I do these 5 day challenges or 5 day sprints with a lot of people. My YouTube challenge had 500 people in March. But you could do this with one person or two people or 10 people, and it can be $500. One price point that is really, really working well for my group right now. This is May 6th, 2026. So this could change. But right now, for my ecosystem, the number $497 is working really well. So imagine you have a cohort, meaning a group of people that you put together, and you say, I have a limit, a cap of 12 or a cap of 10 or a cap of 5. And you say, it's only a few people can join this. And we're going to work for 4 weeks or 6 weeks, 1 day a week together on a common cause. I'm going to help you out of your pain. And we're going to get together and you're going to get me and the other people in the group. And it costs 497 and it's worth 10 times that, whatever we solve. Now, if you're having trouble thinking of an offer, and if that's been your problem for the whole time here, not just this video, I have something for you. Go to the link below to Authority X Pro. Authority X Pro is my proprietary AI that is trained on everything that I know about sales, how I make hundreds of thousands of dollars per month now, how I make that for myself and for other people. I've taught thousands of entrepreneurs how to make money over the past few years. But here's the cool thing. You get 24 hours to use it for free. This is something that I am testing out. It's called an open house, or you can call it a test drive. You get to use it for free. So what people are doing, and I mean a lot of people, is they're going in and they're locking in for 24 hours. And they're sending back and forth maybe 5, 10, 20, maybe even 30 messages in that time period. And they're getting so much out of it, including the biggest thing they're getting is, what is my offer? This is a little bit about me. Now tell me what my offer is. It's like nothing you've ever tried. Just believe me, trust me, and try it out. It's free, so there's nothing to lose there, okay? So don't let that be the bottleneck and stop you from doing the rest of this. So let's go with the 497, and that means that we need 10 of those sold. And where you can do something that is more expensive or less expensive, but you want to really have that basement for this particular project. It needs to be around 497, the lowest, because in 7 days, you're not going to go find 1,000 people to get in front of and then have 100 of them pay you $50, right? It's just not, that's not going to really be very realistic unless you have something else going. Okay. So you know yourself well. When I say that you're starting from zero, I don't mean that you have nothing. It means you may have zero audience, zero money that you've made online, zero experience with sales, but it doesn't mean that you have zero, nothing. It means, like, if you've spent any time existing, you have life experience. If you've worked for someone else, you have so much experience from working with them. And let me tell you why you know that, why I can tell you that with confidence. And it doesn't matter if you're a waiter, if you worked at the CVS, if you're an Uber driver, if you are an executive, it does not matter if you're a doctor. It doesn't matter what you are. The way I can tell you that you're valuable is that someone else paid you to do anything. You had a job or several jobs in your life. Okay? I want you to write the word job, J-O-B, down in the comments. If you're listening to me, if you're still with me, I'm giving you some really, really important information right now. I want you to unlock this, right? Okay? If someone paid you money to do something, it means that it made them more money than they paid you. Think about that for a second. If you've ever cleaned homes, if you've ever driven someone somewhere, if you've ever been a pilot, I mean, anything. If a company or a person paid you to do it, it means it made them more money to have you there. That's why people have employees. So you're already valuable. You are already money. Now it's about switching who benefits from this value that you have. Should someone else benefit from it and make anywhere from 10 to 90% of the upside? Or should you get the bulk of the upside? I really want you to think about that because I think it may be the most important part of this entire video. Now, you have your offer, because even if you don't know what your offer is, you're going to go into Authority X Pro and get it. You have your pricing. What we're going to do is say $497 or $997, somewhere right there. It's going to be where we're going to be. Or if you feel like I've had more experience, I know I can sell higher, then you should go ahead and do that. Okay. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to build a list, and I'm going to tell you a number that's going to shock you, but I need you to calm down already. The number is 30, 30 people. You're already telling yourself, I don't know 30 people who would do this. You have to stop the limiting beliefs. You have to, okay? Look at your phone and look how many contacts you have in your phone. You can even tell me in the comments how many contacts you have because it's going to surprise you. It's going to surprise you. Do I have my phone with me? It's going to be in the hundreds, maybe the dozens, maybe the hundreds, or maybe even the thousands. I can't even tell you how many I have. It's like the A's haven't even stopped scrolling. Now, of course, I know a lot of people, but you have a lot of people in your phone. You have a lot of people, even if you think, oh, I only have like 200 people who follow me on Instagram, or I only have 1,200. 1,200. Most of them are real. LinkedIn, anything, anywhere anybody knows you already. You're going to make a list of 30 people, and you're not going to make this list of strangers. They need to be people from your phone, your DMs, old emails, your LinkedIn, people who already know you exist, and vice versa. You're going to filter them. This is the part that I think nobody really talks about. Remember earlier I said nobody talks about this? This is one of those parts. You're going to filter them into 3 sections. Hope you're writing this down. Pain, power, posture. Pain is, do they actually need what you have to offer? And remember, we made it a painkiller. So do they actually have the pain? The second part is like, you have it listed. Then you're going to like do a check mark, do a square, do a circle, have a key. You know, when you write a key and you say, okay, this circle means XYZ, and I'm going to put a circle next to everything, or a check mark or a square. I do this all the time, written. Okay. The next one is power. Another way you can do this if you're using your laptop or your phone to take notes is color code. Color code these categories. So the next one is, the first one is pain. The next one is power. And power is, can they decide on their own, or do they have to ask somebody like their boss, their spouse, a committee of people, a friend? Are these people that you believe could decide today? And you may not know it until you talk to them. But you're going to also think about, do they have the pain? Do they have the power to make a decision? The third is the posture. Do they already respect you, or are you about to spend 3 weeks proving yourself to them? And you're going to have this. You're going to have all 30 names, and the people who have the highest pain, the highest power, and the best posturing with you are the people you're going to go to first. Okay. So then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to get in touch with them. And for this experiment, this is something, if you've seen a lot of my videos and you work with me in your first 5K, maybe even more, this is going to surprise you, what I'm about to say. So normally I would tell you to send them to a Calendly link or a Stan link to do a one-on-one, either a paid one-on-one so that you can one-on-one so that you know, okay, they're willing to spend, or a free one-on-one so you can have a conversation. That's what I would normally say. I'm not going to say that this time. Right now, we are in an urgent mode of 7 days, 5K, right? So what you're going to do, instead of sending them to a Calendly for this particular exercise, is you're going to send them to a survey. Now, it's either going to be a survey that you make. You can make it on Stan Store. You can make it on Typeform, Google Forms. You can even make it on Calendly. Before they get to book with you, you can have it set up where they answer questions. Or if you don't have the money to get any of those third-party apps, and if you have the money to do it, make the investment so that you can just leverage your time. You don't need to worry about, oh, do I pay the $20? Pay the $20, okay? But if you don't have that, you can simply send them a message that's free. Send them a free email, send them a free text, and you're going to ask them these questions, okay? Ready for the questions. Here they are. What are you trying to fix? What have you already tried? And if these questions are going too fast, just pause, rewind, and get them again, okay? What are you trying to fix? What have you already tried? What's it costing you to leave this broken? What's your budget? And when do you want this solved? These are powerful questions. So if you have right this moment for this particular sprint that we're doing, if you just put a link up and it's anybody can sign up for it, you may get a lot of tire kickers. You may get a lot of people who just want to pick your brain for free. But if you give them an application, they have to go through some friction. And you want them to have a little friction for this particular exercise. Okay. Now, the next thing you do is once they have applied, and again, you can do this, set this up on Calendly so that they have to answer the questions before they can book the call. And if you just send them the messages, they reply to you, say, okay, cool, we're going to book a call for now. We're going to book a call. Okay. Before the call happens, even if it's happening the same day, you're going to send them an audio message or a quick video. So let's say you were texting with them, hit the audio button, you're going to say what I'm going to tell you. Or if you were emailing with them, you're going to make a little video on Zoom, on Loom, on QuickTime. QuickTime is usually in most people's laptops. You can even do it on YouTube and record. Did you know you could record from YouTube? You don't just have to upload, you can record directly from YouTube. Okay, so here is what you're going to say in that 60-second or so voice note. It can be shorter than this if you need it to be. You're going to say their name, and then you're going to repeat back what their answers were. So you're going to say, hey, Samantha, I see that you are dot, 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 dot. You're trying to fix this. You've already tried that. It's costing you this. Your budget is that, and you want this solved by next week, right? You're going to just repeat their answers that you saw. And you're going to say, I'm looking forward to our call. When you do that, you have just really heightened the number of show up rate. Like the percentage of people who show up is going to go through the roof now. Because what happens is you may get 5 people to sign up for a call and 2 show up or 3 show up. If you can get, and that's good, by the way, it's okay. But if you can get 4 or 5 of them to show up, then all of your other numbers get better too. And the most important number of how much money you made goes up. So that is how you get people to actually show up, how to get locked in, committed, and show up. Then what you're going to do, and this is so important, you're going to have 2 objections in mind. These are the top 2 objections that people say. I've learned this over thousands of conversations that I've had in the past past 2 decades. And I've learned it from the thousands of data points that I have from all over my ecosystem. Remember, I've helped thousands of entrepreneurs make money online. So the number one objection, or the one of the 2 number 1 objections is it's too expensive. Now, are you ready for what your response is going to be? Again, pretend you just paid me $5,000 or $10,000 to sit with me and get this information. I'm about to blow your mind. Your response is, compared to what? And then you just go silent and you let them answer and you listen to them. Because when they say it's too expensive, what they're trying to say is, oh, I don't have it, or I don't want to spend it. And that's like a really easy band-aid. But if you say it's too expensive compared to what? What's the alternative to not doing this? Because they're already on the call with you. They've already agreed that they need help with this because they did the survey. So now if it's too expensive because you gave them the number, compared to what? And if they say, honestly, it's too expensive, I rather would stay in this pain than pay this money, then that's okay. Don't pressure them. That's all good. But if it makes them think, compared to, well, I guess it's too, I don't know another I don't know another solution. So I don't know what I'm comparing it to. that's an open door for a part of the conversation to continue. The second big objection is, well, before I tell you the second big objection, tell me in the comments if this is helping. Is this helping? And did you subscribe earlier? Okay, I'll come back to it. Now, the second biggest objection is, uh, let me think about it, or I need to think about it, right? You've already filtered through that they don't really need someone else's help, but that's probably part of what they're saying. I'm going to ask somebody else. It may be a partner, it may be a friend, it may be ChatGPT, like they just may be thinking, I don't want to be foolish. I don't want to make a mistake. I'm unsure of myself, therefore I'm unsure of this. So you can say to them, that is totally fair. What specifically do you need to think about? And then you can give them options. You can say, if it's a price, then we can talk about that. If it's timing, we can talk about that. And if it's whether this actually works for someone like you, that's the most important conversation we can have today. So you basically say, like, whatever you have to think about, I can help you with. And if someone says it's too expensive and you get into the conversation of compared to what, and they just said, I just don't have it. Instead of it's too, I just don't have it. Then you can offer them a version that costs less, but also takes less of your time and experience. So don't do like, oh, okay, I'll give you 50% off if you buy it today. Don't do that. Just lower the value that you give them when you lower the price. You could say like, okay, instead of the 497 to be in this cohort, that's going to be, eight women, and we're going to do XYZ over the next 6 weeks. You can say, oh, well, I can do a version where I can actually give you access to a course that I have that tells you about it. You'd have to work on it on your own, but it's just $99. Because you need to move on to the next conversation that is the 497 or more. But you don't necessarily have to lose this person. And this person, if you give them that option, they may take it. And so you didn't lose, you still made money. Or they may say, I kind of want to do the cohort. I don't, let's see, how can I make that work? And you could say, well, if you really want to do the cohort, I can't discount it for you. It's too valuable, but I could probably do it. Would having 3 payments work for you? Like you pay a third of it now, a third of it in 2 weeks, and a third of it by the end? Work with them, but don't discount yourself. Okay? So say in the comments right now if you're still with me, and I'm so serious about this. I know that I'm telling you to do a lot of feedback, but I'm giving you something that I think is going to help you so much. Tell me that you heard me when I said don't discount. If someone gives you pushback, don't discount. Just lower the value of what you have to deliver to give them options if you want to give them options. Okay, and then what happens after they buy? So you give them a place to buy. You can use Stripe, PayPal. You can use a stand store, which is what I love to use. It's a simple button. You set it up in 10 minutes, 20 minutes. There are a couple of price points for it, worth it. And they just get set up. And I've made more than I might write it $650,000 as of now in the past year, just because I've used Stand Store for different things. So on my Stand Store account, it's at 650K or so. So you can use Stand Store, which plugs into Stripe. You can use School. I've seen a lot of people, and I'm going to talk about this during my school sprint that I'm doing, is it's not just a membership, right? It's not just, okay, you're paying monthly or yearly. It's a container for a cohort, a live cohort that's happening over 6 weeks or 4 weeks or 90 days or whatever. I would say 4 to 8 weeks is the best. But let's say you have that 497 and you want a container for it. Well, people can actually sign up for 497 one-time payment. They can get into the container on your school and you have it for those 8 weeks. And it's the 8 of you and you made $4,000. And then you close that down and maybe you spin up another one for a different cohort. Or maybe you keep this one going if you're willing to pay for it. And they can continue to talk to each other over time. They have replays they can look at. But think of it more like the container, not necessarily has to always be just for a membership. Okay, you're going to deliver. Whatever you promised them, you're going to deliver that and you're going to over deliver. Whatever they thought they were getting, do even better than that so that they can give you testimonials. They can do organic word of mouth. They're going to tell people about it. They're going to brag about it. They're going to start tagging you on social and saying how much you helped them. And then you can make the determination of, oh, should I do this again? Let's say four people signed up, you made $2,000, you spoke 1 hour a week for 6 weeks in that container. You're halfway through it. You're like, yeah, I want to do this again. And then you know more because you worked with the group. You now know more for the next time. You know more about what will bring them in, what pain point they really need, like who actually made it to this cohort, and what pain point did they actually have, and how did they actually stack up? Do they have any through lines? Most likely they're going to be very much alike. And then you look at that and you say, okay, well, I'm either going to do 497 next time or maybe I'll do 997. Maybe it's so life-changing or so transformational, it needs to be more. Or maybe you're like, I love this. I'm in the pocket. 497 works for them. 497 works for me. I'm going to go out and get 10 more people. That's how you play this, okay? And then you're going to want to protect what you just built. Because if you get $5,000 in 7 days, and then everybody leaves, goes, want refunds, everybody's upset. It was worth nothing. It was actually a negative. So what you want to do is when you over deliver, you also want to have something for them to do next. So maybe, it's a 6 week thing. Maybe the first week you're like, hey, I am going to have something for us to continue this. Just make a note to yourself, like we're going to do something. Or you might say, look, day two, I'm going to surprise everybody and send them a free course or send them a free template or something that I spun up on Lovable that's like a little calculator or something that'll help them with what we're doing, right? Like something that helps them keep notes or something that they only those 6 people get. That's how you keep people engaged. It's surprise and delight. And you're going to think through the whole series of this, the whole structure and process of this. All of it is important. Okay. If you're having any trouble thinking about what to offer, what to say exactly when you reach out to people, what to have exactly in your application, or how to bypass the application if that makes you nervous, or if you have any holes here, any gaps where you're like, I can't do this one thing, all of it can be fixed and solved in Authority X Pro. It's not hyperbole. I'm not exaggerating. Every single step of this, Authority X Pro can help you with. Even if it's mindset, even if it's like, I've never sold to anybody. I don't know if I can do this. Talk to Authority X Pro for those 24 hours. Buy Authority X Pro if you want to have it with you for the whole year, or even if you want to get it for 30 days, you can get it monthly. But my suggestion to you is that you go all in. Because you, if any of this works, this is a skill that you can build upon for the rest of your life. And believe me, I know I went from being homeless, sleeping on the floor of an airport, to making thousands and thousands of dollars per day, doing what I'm telling you, working out these different things, seeing the data from other people. Okay, so hopefully this is helpful. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you go to the 24-hour open house. If it's not there when you get there, I would still consider jumping in for a month or the year because it's so worth it. All right, limited time only. I'll see you soon.